Good morning from Cartagena. Good morning from...
Actually, it's La Caruna.
It's not really a good morning, really. It's raining and it's cold and it's grey and miserable. But, the sun's shining inside, so it's not so bad.
So this was our early morning view as we looked out from the aft of the ship across the city of La Caruna. We've been here several times before, so we weren't quite sure what we were going to do, and as the weather wasn't that good, we thought we'd stay on board for a while. And while Lindsey was having a little bit more of a lie-in, I carried on with my exploration of the ship. On deck 3, you'll find the photography centre, where you can purchase photographs taken on board by the ship's crew, get advice about your own cameras and settings, and maybe buy those little accessories that you've left at home. One other thing that they've got on Queen Anne is their own photo studio, so you can have studio quality photographs taken while on board. As we look down from above into the grand lobby, you can see it's still classy and stylish, but different from the other ships in the line. The Corinthia Lounge on Queen Anne is situated in a walkway around the top of the grand lobby. Personally speaking, I don't think the choice of foods and nibbles available here were as good as they are on Queen Mary, and it's certainly not a venue that you could have quizzes or music acts playing in. For those of you who enjoy a little bit of retail therapy while on holiday, there's certainly a good choice with a large range of boutiques and shops available. Now we can see a view of the top level of the Queen's Room. The Queen's Room is different on Queen Anne, but as we look down over the balcony, we can still see the huge dance floor and the large performance area. This is the casino bar, known as Bar 1840. It was here that we ended up late at night on several occasions to get one of those last-minute drinks. As you can see, the casino has all the usual table games for you to enjoy and a wide range of slot machines, and yes, we did have a little flutter on them. You'll find the Mariel Beauty Salon next to the theatre down on deck 2. For all those little needs that we all have now and again, why not treat yourself? The Golden Lion pub is a firm favourite amongst Cunard passengers, and Queen Anne's is a very good one, a large square room where the entertainment can flow quite easily. Also, they still have the traditional fish and chips that you can have, but there are now a few upcharge items. The Bright Light Society is a new entertainment concept on Queen Anne, and we loved it. It was some of the best entertainment we'd ever seen on a Cunard ship, and would go back time and time again to see it. And afterwards, this is where they held their late night disco and bar, so we also enjoyed that bit as well. We come now to one of the most loved and controversial rooms on the ship, the Queen's Room. Traditionally, the Queen's Room has been home to big band sounds and ballroom dancing. On Queen Anne, Cunard appear to have made this a multi-purpose room. During the daytime it's used for aerobics, exercises and line dancing. In the afternoon it's still the venue for the most loved afternoon tea, and in the evening it comes to life with traditional dancing and shows. There have been criticisms that it's too small, but it still fills the full width of the ship. Well, apart from a little walkway that goes down through. Deck 2 is also the home of the future cruise desk, and what's really nice to see is that they have a large, comfortable waiting area while you're waiting to see the cruise experts on board. The shore experience area is fully automated with screens available to use throughout the day to book your next adventure, but there's always someone on hand to help if required. The next venue we come to was, I think for me, one of the most disappointing. It's the chart room. Now the chart room on Queen Mary is a beautiful, comfortable room with entertainment included, whereas on Queen Anne the chart room just seems to be a long, thin, narrow area of seating, which is also comfortable, that's sort of nondescript. There is a piano at one end, but they don't appear to have a band or anything playing in here, and it certainly lacked atmosphere. Now the next area of the ship that we visit, I'd found very difficult to get to. It was situated up on deck 11 and was the wellness centre. On one side you had the grills area, which I didn't have access to, and the other side was the top level of the pavilion. And it was really quite difficult to get to this area, coupled with the fact that it had a small gate which you had to open to get in. At this point, I returned to the cabin and Lindsey joined me for another disappointingly cold breakfast in the main dining room. But by the time we'd left there, the sun was shining. So, as I was sorting out a few little technical difficulties preparing for our live broadcast, Lindsey went ashore in La Caruna on her own.
So here I am at the little park on the quayside in La Caruna, and a lovely little fountain there, and we'll just come around here to see that little beauty. Queen Anne. We're on a maiden voyage and this is the first stop at La Caruna, and it's a beautiful day now, and we'll see what the rest of the day has in hold. There she is, Queen Anne. We're at her first port of call here in La Caruna, and the sun is now out. It was pretty dismal to start with, but there she is in all her glory. Unfortunately parked the wrong way round this morning, but yeah, she does look nice, doesn't she?
It's a really good job Lindsey did go ashore, as on the way back, look who she bumped into. Our wonderful captain, Inga. So with my technical issues sorted, we thought we'd go up and be one of the first players to ever play on the shuffleboard courts. We soon got the hang of it, and I think on this occasion I actually won. After all that exercise, we popped up to the Sky Bar for a quick drink.
So Lindsey, we're out on the deck up here now, aren't we?
Yes, we finally found our private balcony.
I'm going to drink in the sunshine and just show you around what our private balcony looks like. Some very nice seating up here, isn't there?
Nobody else has found it yet.
Nobody else has found it. We're here all on our own.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's very comfortable.
It's very comfortable, yeah.
It's a bit like most of the rest of the ship. It's very comfortable.
It is very
in a lot of
comfortable.
places.
The ship's lovely.
Yeah.
Just a couple of minor issues.
Yeah.
Yep. But we'll come to that.
Yes, we won't spoil the surprise, but
No,
we'll tell
we'll
you all
come
about
to that later because it's.
Put it like this: Ken nearly lost his rag. That takes a lot.
Yeah.
And if you hear any music in the background, that's the theatre company, and their rehearsal room is not far from us.
Yeah.
So if you hear some really nice harmony work, that's them. Very nice. They did some very nice performance last night, didn't they?
And where are we, Lindsey?
La Caruna.
No, where are we on the ship?
We're on
Just down from the Sky Bar, aren't
Oh
we?
yes.
Yeah. So this is good.
Yeah. How many people does it take to put cushions on a chair?
You could do with a few extra in the dining room.
This is a lovely place to sit.
It is lovely.
This is really nice. This is a good find.
Yeah.
And they're bringing all the cushions out for us. How wonderful.
Later that afternoon, we met up with Paul, Carol, Dan and Tony for a drink and to celebrate our first sail away from a port. To mark the occasion, the Irish duo from the pub were playing outside on deck. After enjoying the sail away, it was time to nip back to the cabin and get ready for this evening. For tonight was a very special night, because tonight, Paul, Carol, Tony, Dan and ourselves were all eating together in Sir Samuel's, our first experience of specialty dining on board Queen Anne, and bearing in mind the issues we had in the main dining room, we were really looking forward to it. Sir Samuel's is a steakhouse on board Queen Anne, very similar to the veranda on the other ships. It costs $58.50 if booked in advance, or $65 if booked on board. That's for an evening meal. Lunchtime is available at $31.50 or $35. Here's a look at the evening menu that we had available to us. If you'd like to see it in more detail, please pause the pictures. When we arrived, we were really excited and placed our orders. But we did notice there seemed a lot of confusion going on around us and a lot of panic was on people's faces. So we ordered our drinks and in due course they all arrived, apart from Tony's at the end of the table.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Then one of the waiters proceeded to make a Caesar salad at the table for Carol. It was quite interesting to watch, and it certainly made you feel like the evening was going to be special. But as you can see, the waiter was quite distracted dealing with other issues at the same time. This seemed to become the norm for the rest of the night, with service being intermittent and confused, wrong food being delivered to the wrong person, wrong food being delivered to the wrong tables, and a lot of it coming out cold, but worse was still to come.
So Lindsey, what's your crabby cake like?
It was very nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice, but it said in the menu crab cakes,
Yeah.
and they were jumbo crab cakes.
Yes. Implying more than one.
Implying more than one, implying the word jumbo being big.
And what was your opinion? They were nice.
They were very nice, very tasty. They could have been twice the size, and they could have been more than one.
Yeah, you mean the chef can't count?
Well, I think it's their fault because they had them as well, so I'm sure that they had mine.
Running short.
And I had the bone marrow starter. It was okay, but a little devoid of flavour for my palate. Lindsey and mine steaks duly arrived, and they were fine, if a little on the cold side. However, the side dishes that came out were pitiful. This tender stem broccoli was for 4 people. We did ask for some extra dishes, but it seemed to fall on deaf ears.
It's freezing cold.
Freezing cold. Yeah. A bit like most of the food on the entire ship.
It wasn't hot, but it wasn't going to hold any heat because that was cold.
So Lindsey,
So Lindsay, I mean,
Let's have your honest opinion of this wonderful Sir Samuel's meal.
I have to say the steak was a beautiful piece of meat.
Yeah,
And some of the veg was quite nice, but it was cold.
cold.
It was cold. It's just silly.
And our friends at the end.
Our friends got to the stage where they don't want their food anymore because they've had to send it back. Well, in fact, Tony didn't get it at all.
No, poor old Tony at the end didn't get his steak, didn't get his drink, still hasn't got his drink. He did get his steak, and then when it came, it was raw. It walked in the door and went,
Alright, let's see what we have next. I know this is a difficult one to dance to.
another brick in the wall.
Maybe we'll wait for the next one.
Despite the meal, we still had a great night on board Queen Anne with some really great company to spend it with. Next time on Queen Anne, we have some more wonderful entertainment, but the food issues continue. If you'd like to find out more, why not subscribe to the channel? That way, you'll find out whenever we put up a new video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.